The drug violence in Mexico is turning even more sinister. The latest development, an apparent vigilante movement forming. A video purportedly from the group appeared online. It shows masked men promising to exterminate members of the violent Zeta drug cartel. This follows the latest murder of a journalist who dared to challenge the cartel. Here's Rafael Romo.
The decapitated corpse was a clear message dumped right in the heart of Nuevo Laredo, across the border from Laredo, Texas. Mexican officials said the victim was 39-year-old Maria Elizabeth Macias Castro, editor-in-chief of Primera Hora, one of the 3 local newspapers, but also famous for her online social media posts. Next to the body, a handwritten warning: "I'm here because of my reports and yours. For those of you who don't want to believe, this happened because of my actions and for trusting the Defense Ministry and the Marines," said the sign. The gruesome murder is the 3rd this month in which victims were apparently targeted for their work online. Just last week, the bodies of a man and a woman who had been hogtied and disemboweled were found hanging from a nearby bridge. The bodies have not been identified. A handwritten poster attached to the bridge threatened 2 blogs that follow organized crime in Mexico. One of them said, "This is going to happen to all of those posting funny things on the internet. You better pay attention. I'm about to get you." Nuevo Laredo Mayor Benjamin Galvan didn't want to talk to CNN about the wave of violence, but earlier this month told affiliate KSAT he's working on improving security.
It's not at the level that we want it to be. There aren't easy and fast solutions to the problem of violence.
Rafael joins me live. It's so insidious. What is the latest on the investigations there?
Well, not much is happening because everybody's afraid. The reporters are afraid of reporting the story because they receive threats. The prosecutors are afraid of investigating because they receive threats. And now we have news that a vigilante group has appeared in a different Mexican state, in the state of Veracruz, that is promising to kill these drug traffickers. So it adds a new component to the entire mix of violence in Mexico and makes the situation even worse.
Yeah, even the mayor won't talk to us for obvious reasons. I mean,
exactly. I mean, this is Nuevo Laredo, across the border from Laredo, Texas, and he's afraid for his life. I spoke with his office, and they told us that they would talk to us, and then they never got back. We tried and tried and tried, and understandably, they're afraid for their safety.
Rafael Romo, thanks.
Discovery in Mexico outside the northern city of Monterrey. Police say authorities have found the remains of at least 49 people there. Mexican state media report that the bodies were in plastic trash bags that had been dumped along a highway. Journalist Jan Grillo joins us now on the line from Mexico City with more on this. What do we know? What happened?
Well, yeah, a very extraordinary and gruesome discovery following a couple of weeks of pretty horrific massacres. It started around 2:30 in the morning. The local emergency authorities got some phone calls about some disturbance on a road, on a major highway from Monterrey, Mexico's big industrial city, to the U.S. border. Now, when they went down to the road, they saw this enormous pile of black garbage bags and the cut-up remains of the victims inside. The military, the federal police all turned up there, and it took a while to count and identify the number of bodies. I mean, counting 49 bodies, and sometimes the corpses are very heavily mutilated. Now, we do have information that on the scene there was a note from a drug cartel with some kind of threat. We don't know which cartel yet, but it obviously had all the signs of these kind of terrifying, horrific killings. This, however, sets a new record. I mean, we've seen 25 bodies, 35 bodies, from 49, sets a new record for these kind of crimes.
Well, I want to ask you about that because I can't imagine what it's like to live around there knowing that these kinds of crimes, mass graves, disfigured remains are growing, well, not that uncommon.
I mean, yeah, really horrific. And sorry if it's very loud here. I'm just at the airport now, but about to get a plane to Monterrey. I'll be going to the morgue to try and talk to families of these victims and find out who these people are. Because one very worrying thing is, although they say these are just bad guys killing bad guys, it's very hard to know. Now, there was a similar massacre to this just a few days ago outside the city of Guadalajara. In that case, they started to identify some victims, and I found among them a 20-year-old student and a waiter who was going to go off to his shift to wait in a restaurant. and was kidnapped and next turned up in one of these scenes. So sometimes, you worry that the drug cartels could be just picking up innocent victims and using them to make a point. And that's a big concern. Now, you say what it's like to live in these communities. I mean, these communities, it's very hard psychologically on people. I mean, just trying to get by the day-to-day, picking up your kid from school and this kind of thing, caring about your family with these kind of terrifying actions happening.
Aaron Grillo on the line for us from Mexico City.